What's up, guys? It's Crash, and I kind of want to give my first initial thoughts of the Season 1 of Arena Breakout Infinite, the PC version of Arena Breakout, as well as kind of cover the question of, is it a good time to go ahead and get into it? I know a lot of people are waiting on Steam, so I want to address that as well. There's been some information about the Steam release of the game, so I kind of want to talk about all that and just give my initial thoughts while it's kind of fresh right now. I feel like I have a pretty good sentiment of like how the community is feeling. I had some really, man, thank you guys for the insane streams. I had a ton of people in my Twitch streams, which was really cool, on twitch.tv/crash8, shameless plug, but it was really cool to have a bunch of people through and just kind of discuss things and kind of feel out where people are with this game right now, because it's kind of in an interesting spot as well. So I kind of want to talk about the good, bad, and different, and some information about where Arena Breakout is right now. The first thing I want to talk about is Season 1 itself. I'm having a really good time. One of my favorite things about it right now is that the optimization. They redid the lighting, it feels like. I didn't play a ton in Season 0. Because I, like many of you, was actually waiting on the Steam release as well. But they did a really good job with the lighting, really high frame rates. I'm not having to use DLSS. A lot of my friends with mid-tier cards aren't having to use DLSS if you don't want to. And it just, the overall graphic fidelity is a big step up from the Season 0 version that we had. The other thing is, I'm just having fun with it. The game right now feels like the fun parts of Tarkov without the crappy part. Just, you know, having a mini map and being able to see where friendly players are. I know you can say that's maybe a little bit less hardcore, but I would say it just kind of removes the frustration. I'm still having really intense battles. I'm still finding exciting loot that I need to get out with. And I'm not even getting into the crazy high tier games yet, like the Forbidden Zone and all that stuff I haven't really got to yet. But there's just a lot of quality of life stuff in there. You can hop in and just play. And I know people talk about the pay to win stuff, but I've been playing a fair amount of time into it over even maybe just the last week probably. And I'm already over 4 million rubles, and I'm just not really having to worry a ton about money. I'm not buying insane kits and thermals and stuff like that, but I'm just having a really good time with the game. And I think overall it sits in a really, really interesting space, because I'm most excited probably for Delta Force just on how it plays, but Arena Breakout Infinite kind of excels where Delta Force fails for a lot of people, especially people in my demographic and my viewers and folks from my community as well. I feel like some of the hesitations, and myself was included, especially before I got to play Delta Force, I feel like I was really, really vocal about not wanting to have specialists. Well, Arena Breakout doesn't have that. I know there's already been some crazy skins that we've seen from the Chinese version. Arena Breakout doesn't have that. It's always going to stay grounded. The Battle Pass skins for Arena Breakout are really, really, really good. Like, they look really cool. They're dark, gritty. One of them's like the one you get at the end of the Battle Pass is like a multicam, like an urban multicam skin with like some like letters and stuff scratched into it, like it's had some use and some wear and it's seen some stuff. So it's just really cool to see some skins coming to the game that actually don't totally break immersion, because there are people after that. The audio is much better than Tarkov right now. I know audio is always something that's subject to change, but that's feeling good right now. The new maps are awesome. I played the Armory map. I had a really cool solo raid where I killed a 3-man on the Armory map. So there's 2 new maps now, and it's just, Arena Breakout is playing really well. I know it's Tencent, so is Delta Force. They're really making a push for extraction shooters right now, so there is that if you're not interested in that. But just to get in some really intense raids and have fun. One of the other things that I think is really interesting that they did was the missions, right? Missions are a really important thing when it comes to replayability in extraction shooters. They completely redid the interface, and I think they're kind of onto something with it. Instead of being in a list or having to go through to the different traders and stuff like that to be able to find the mission items, they're kind of in a big flow chart and you can see where you're at. They need to do one thing to it. They need to make it to where you can zoom out and kind of overall zoom in and out to see overall where you're at in like the mission tree. I think that's really cool, but it's cool to see all your missions kind of graphically and where you're at and where they flow and where they go next, which is pretty nice. And there's still weekly missions that give you a ton of money, as well as season missions. So where there's also like the Season 1 missions, and there's Season 1 Battle Pass, and there's event passes, and there's a lot of things to do. And there are a lot of reasons that you should not need to buy in-game currency. It's not even a thing. And all the weapons that people who do get out their credit cards, you can use those as well by just playing the game. So I would definitely wish you couldn't buy Coin in the game, or Cone or Coin, or however you say it, but you can. But at the same time, I'm not really noticing it. I've also been really impressed with the anti-cheat so far. I am lower level, so I think it's kind of, there's a little bit of skill-based matchmaking where I'm also playing lower levels, but I'll get into that in just a little bit as well. But I haven't seen any cheaters, and I'm able to watch kill cams, and I'm able to get that kind of closure where I died from, which has been underrated for me in an extraction shooter. There were so many times I was frustrated in this game, and then I would watch the kill cam, and then everything would kind of make sense. There was a person I didn't even know about that shot me across the hill. Like, that's fair, GG's. Or when I originally thought it was somebody sus or cheating, or someone that wasn't even looking at me that I thought was desync. The kill cam was just amazing for like closure and peace of mind to know like what happened in the game. And one of the biggest things I want to talk about with Arena Breakout, and why if you're a little bit disenfranchised with Call of Duty, or you're not feeling that Delta Force is quite right because of maybe the immersion, the skins, and you're kind of tired of hero shooters, are, I will admit, man, hero shooters are getting a little bit exhausting, right? Like Rainbow Six Siege has been a staple that I've played a ton. You know, you have Overwatch that ran its course, Valorant's got the hero thing, Overwatch did its thing, and even a lot of these like small indie shooters are having specialists. Call of Duty did it for a while. So the hero shooter thing is kind of played out. So to have something that's not that is really cool. But the biggest thing for me that separates Tarkov from Arena Breakout as far as enjoyment is you don't absolutely have to poop sock the game after a wipe. Shout out Geeksave for the term poop sock. But every time Tarkov wipes, you have to get in and you have to grind that thing for hours, for a couple hours a day at least, to be able to stay ahead of the progression curve, right? And if you don't, if in the first few weeks of a wipe you don't absolutely destroy the game, you're going to be behind. You're going to be playing against other players with better ammo, better loot, better gear, and stuff like that. Arena Breakout is a game that you can just take breaks from. You can hop into it, play it when you want to, run some raids with your friends. If they're not on, you don't have to. You can hop into Scav raid, you can make some money here or there, do some of the easy challenges and get money, but it never is going to wipe. And after you hit the first couple levels, you have pretty much access to everything that there is on the market. You just have to earn more money to get it if you want to. You never fall behind. You can hop in and hop out whenever you want to. And I think that is one of the coolest things. We have a new season here, and there's no wipe. You don't lose all your stuff. You don't lose the stuff you worked for, and you're able just to keep on trucking. Now, one of the biggest things, and I think this is the reason that I really hadn't played it at all, was I was waiting for Steam. I did not, like many of you, want another launcher on my machine. I'm tired of launchers and having to open up different ones. I know that sounds like a first world problem. It's literally just like click something else. But it's just annoying to have to go and make sure everything's updated in all these different places. I, like many of you, waiting for Steam, right? Well, season 1 came out. I got lucky enough to get into the content creator preview, and I just could see the potential in this season and the game as it moves forward. So I went ahead and bit the bullet. Well, then Enzo Zhang, the lead designer on the game, went out and said there is going to be a Steam release later. Season 1 that's out right now, as you guys know, is not on Steam yet. However, if you do get into it now, if you bite the bullet and run the launcher and get it from their website, all your account stuff will carry over when it does release on Steam. They said they want to add more maps, more features, more things that are coming with a more fleshed out launch when it comes to Steam. They're kind of trying to get a lot more people into the game at that point, which I think they will. But I have a lot of peace of mind now that all the progression, all the levels, all the skins that I earn and stuff like that will transfer over to Steam. So I think that's huge. If you're waiting on Steam, I think that's really huge. But moving forward with the game, I think Arena Breakout is going to stay in my rotation of video games. Right now, I'm having fun with Hardcore Search and Call of Duty when I want to be silly and hop in and play that. I will admit that. But as far as like the extraction shooters, the stuff I'm passionate, the stuff I'm feeling right now, really enjoying Arena Breakout. Delta Force, I'm incredibly hyped for, which is going to be cool because there's going to be a lot of new friends hopefully coming to the channel, stuff with those games being on console as well. I think it's huge that we're going to get some extraction shooter choices on console. There's going to be some other things for them to play. Delta Force, of course, we're going to be hitting the heck out of that. And then the Gray Zone Warfare Night Ops update, which is just around the corner too. So like I said in my last video, there's a lot of things, but I think where you have, you know, Arena Breakout Infinite, where you can pop in and see what your weekly missions are, do some of those, play a couple days a week, and then, you know, you take a couple weeks break, maybe you're in Delta Force or Gray Zone and checking out that update. It's like you're not having FOMO, you can hop back in and play Arena Breakout whenever you want to. So if you want something dark, gritty, grounded, you can play Arena Breakout. If you kind of want the more casual, arcadey style and the super chill quality of life stuff in Delta Force, which I really love, you can play in that. If you want the more open world kind of stuff, you can play Gray Zone. So I just think Arena Breakout is something that you guys should maybe check out. I've been surprised with how well it's played. I know some members from my Twitch community have as well, and went ahead and hopped in and have been enjoying it. And it's worth checking out because honestly, you know, you have a little bit of what folks would consider pay to win. Even myself sometimes would call it pay to win in certain situations. Everything else is really good. Season 1 is really good. The new maps are really good. The features, the modes, the optimization is really, really nice. And I just think you would probably have a lot of fun in it and not really notice that there's some ding dongs out there getting their credit cards out to buy in-game currency. Let me know what you guys think of this down in the comments. If you made it to the end of the video, I cannot thank you enough. And I just really thank you guys for all the support on Twitch and here lately. It's incredibly humbling, and I appreciate it a lot. We'll see you later.